Okay, well, Aquarius, we're going to start with you because you're the last one. You're the one who hasn't been read in quite some time. This is your July General Tarot. Please check the description box for everything that you need to know, including where you can run your natal chart. We can look at your rising moon and Venus sign. It's free, and it tells you everything you need to know. It's important to know the time that you were born if you want to know your rising sign, as well as where you were born specifically. But it is free. It's extremely comprehensive. It gives you a report and everything. So yeah, we're going to get some messages from the magnetic poetry for you to start. I have a treasure trove of magnetic poetry here, if you can see. I should probably stir it a little bit better. Now we have some words that fell out for you. And I have so much that it doesn't fit on the door of my fridge in any useful way, so I have decided to use it for this. Then we're going to do your tarot using a new deck that I have called the Grimm Tales Tarot. It's based on, loosely based on the Brothers Grimm, as well as on the Rider-Waite. And then we're going to use two different oracle decks this time. We're going to use the Rebel deck, as well as, I thought it was only fitting for Aquarius's reading, of course, the Rebel deck, and then the I Am Power pack for you. So let's get started. I think this is going to be the last reading that I do for, out of the three that I've done thus far for July. This will be the last one that I do as a past, present, future. And then I'll probably switch to another spread. I don't know if I'm going to switch to like, maybe, you know, your classic Celtic cross or what have you. But yeah, so we'll start with the ones that fell out. Get a pen and a piece of paper. You write these down if you're into anagrams. Okay. There we go. There's an initial. Okay, there you have it. That's quite an elaborate list there. So take a look-see, find out what it is. Here's the thing about using this view. When I use this view, you can see me shuffle. You can see the spread. You can zoom in to look at the imagery on the card, so you can see what it is that I'm reading and how I'm interpreting them. And right now, I'm still rocking my pajamas because it's technically my Saturday, even though it's Friday. And I don't have to worry about wearing my makeup or being cam ready. I can just go when it's time, and I don't have to put off all of this stuff. Okay. So that makes it better for me. All right. And better for you by osmosis, right? Okay, so let's get started. Grimm Tarot for you. Hearing a Radiohead song, which is funny because I wasn't listening to music. I treated today like it was my Sunday, even though it's my Saturday. And I did meditation this morning and then fell back asleep for a couple hours. But, oh my gosh, these ones are fun already. I Will by Radiohead. I Will. Radiohead. These are quite a flexible cardstock, which is nice. I really like that. I've been having trouble with finding decks that are, you know, friendly for my hands, which is, this is a nice size. Compared to these. gargantuan cards. But I've been having trouble finding decks that are either too stiff or are too large for me to actually shuffle. One more, then we'll get started. You see how these are going to bend rather easily too. Okay, Twist for Fairness. These are kind of sticking together. I've already done a reading for myself with these, so they have been thoroughly shuffled before this. Only take flippers and jumpers, maximum of 3. We're going to do 6 across, all the way down, and we'll get into dignities at some point here. But Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I just saw the Star card in the reverse. You might not be connecting with yourself so well at this time. In the past for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So let's also make sure we're recording. Okay, good. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we have? This is kind of bugging me. I'm just going to move those over there. Aquarius in the past, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Queen of Pentacles might be dealing with Capricorn. Oh, there we go. There's our first flipper. Okay, so we have 4 Pentacles in the reverse. In the recent past, or in the past as it were, we do have an energy here of somebody who's spending too much. Normally, the 4 of Pentacles, we see this as an individual who's holding their coins close to their chest, trying to save their money to the point of miserliness. Somebody who's conserving their time, their energy, their efforts to the point of miserliness, holding on to those resources very tightly. But in the reverse, it's quite the opposite of that. It's somebody who's wasting time, wasting energy, wasting effort, wasting resources, monetary even. Tell me more. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and sorry if the camera's shaking. I don't know. I'm leaning. I need a new office chair really badly. This one is not ergonomically correct. Okay, there's another for you. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, and not only being wasteful with their energy, their time, their efforts, and monetary, but also the 7 of Pentacles not necessarily investing any energy, time, effort, or resources in the right places. Almost as if you could think of this like planting a barren crop, or somebody who is spending bad money after good, throwing bad money after good. Normally this would be somebody who's, looking to, plant the seeds now so that the fruits of their labor later are, plentiful. But in the reverse, this is somebody who's not necessarily doing that. Could have their efforts off balance, like not necessarily putting in as much effort as other people are. Remember, sometimes we can interpret in the tarot, the reversal of a card can actually mean the preceding card. So you could look at that as a 6 of Pentacles in some ways, where there's a need for balance and equilibrium in effort or investment of time into something, even into a craft, dedicating time to a craft. What else? So essentially there's a lot of wastefulness going on here. It's not necessarily just spending too much or taking on too much and not really, seeing any efforts from it, but wasted effort, wasted time, wasted money, Wasted investment or lack thereof. Somebody isn't investing here. Tell me more in the past for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh, we gotta get cooking here a little bit faster. Nope. Okay, we had one that jumped. Strength in the reverse. This is actually in the reverse. Timing would be during Aquarius season. This might have become apparent during Aquarius season that something's got to give because somebody's not investing as much as somebody else. But strength in the reverse is a loss of temper. So frustration over this. A frustration over this. Also could be a lack of courage, lack of bravery. But usually the loss of temper has to do with the inability to tame the inner beast. Leo on this card here, but for timing, my reversals of my archetypes are usually the, opposite on the zodiac wheel. So strength card would be Aquarius season, but again, the meaning of the card in and of itself in the reverse, we would see this as a loss of temper. Somebody who is not able to hold their temper, somebody who's not able to maintain calm when they think about these things or when these things are brought up. But also there's cowardice here. There's a lack of bravery. Somebody who fears something and is not able to confront it. Oh, sorry. Guess those are our next two cards. This is why I love... Oh, I guess those are our next three cards. So that somebody doesn't want to dwell on the past here. They also don't want to show the past. So we have the Tower, surprising, unexpected, something unexpected. Not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have to have negative connotation associated with it, especially because we do have it in the reverse here. But the Tower in and of itself is a toppling of, a structure. And we can see this as a side-swiping of sorts, but unexpected events that, are precipitated by a loss of temper. This could also be somebody blowing their stack and people weren't expecting them to freak out. Because an offer wasn't made. Because the contract was not provided in some regard. There was a contract that somebody was looking at obtaining, or an offer of some sort, a beginning, a token of initiation, something tangible, something tangible here with the Ace of Pentacles, and there's a loss of temper here that precipitates that. This is the reason for these two things here. It's almost as if somebody said, I'm not offering you this because there's wastefulness here. And the results of this are there is no offer. So somebody goes ahead and somebody freaks out. It's rather unexpected, but there's truth attached to it. It's like so the truth comes out in the recent past. Finally, their truth has come out. It's a point of realization in the past here. This is a sword of truth. Oftentimes people will say that this is an Aquarian card. However, it is Athena's sword, and so I always say it's a Libra card. So something has been brewing and cooking since Libra season, potentially. Okay, and so let's look ahead into the present for you. As of right now, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I'm sorry, if you're looking for somebody to go tell you that you're going to win the lottery and that love is right around the corner and blah, 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 and your blessings and all that other shit like that, TikTok's the other way. I'm not TikTok tarot. This is the real shit. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. If you want that kind of crap, you can go somewhere else. The door's out there. You know what I mean? I hate to be real like that, but it's the truth. There are people out there that are willing to tell you what you want to hear because that's how they get clicks, right? All right, so Page of Swords in the reverse. Somebody is exercising willful blindness about this. They don't want to see. Oftentimes we see the Page of Swords in the upright as a stalker card, especially online. It's a huge buzzword. is to consider this the stalker card. Somebody's watching what you're doing online. They're looking at you because they want to learn more about you, to discover something about you. But to see this in the reverse, it means that they're trying to turn a blind eye to something. There's avoidance here. Willful ignorance, exercising willful ignorance. And when we see this directly below, now we're starting to get into the dignities, right? And not just throwing cards. A Page of Swords attached to this is somebody's turning a blind eye to this, that they've wasted money, that they've wasted energy and effort, that their investment was for naught, that they invested in barren land, that they put their seeds out there and nothing's growing. There isn't even any low-hanging fruit to be had, never mind fruit. You know, they planted their stuff in, you know, in clay, right? And this is all figurative, of course, but you know, there's somebody who's wasted their time, their energy, their effort. They spent it all, and it was for naught. But they're turning a blind eye in the present to it. They're ignoring it on purpose. They don't want to know. They don't want to discover. They don't want to learn, because that would be having to confront the truth, right? Tell me more. In the present. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Yeah, and here's, oh, that's too many cards. And here's the thing about people telling you, I really don't like to get into, you know, mudslinging about other tarot people and shit like that. But here's the thing, is that people will tell you what you want to hear on certain places like that, because they need to get, like, you don't make any money off even 1 million views over there. So people have to, you know, talk out their ass about stuff they really don't know anything about, because they need to get, like, millions upon millions upon millions of views for any type of ad revenue. Anyway. Okay, all right. Enough about that. Okay. Tell me more. I thought I saw a flipper. Oh, well, it'll come out if it comes out. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, okay, here you go. There's that Capricorn card again. Didn't I say that before there was a Capricorn? I'm going to look for that flipper while I talk about this. Capricorn energy. This is about the home space. Somebody didn't invest in the home space. Somebody didn't invest in the refinery, the luxury of the home space. Somebody wasn't interested in making it a good place to be, a good place to live. Somebody was lacking determination, drive, and ambition to make something worth it. This is Capricorn feminine energy, but if you're thinking about the traits of a Capricorn individual, that's ambition, it's passion, it's determination, it's the drive to get somewhere, the passion to become something more. Also, though, the Capricorn feminine energy, this is the queen who takes the bacon and fries it up. And this is the person who makes the house the home. And so the lack of investment in that up here, and somebody isn't willing to acknowledge that there was a lack of investment in making the house a home. This individual could also be the person who loses their temper or is attached to this truth here. I'm hearing what a tangled web we weave. You see how she's got the spider stuff up above her? She's the one who weaves the hospitable web. With the Seven of Wands, there's a defensiveness here. There's defensiveness. That's what the anger is. So either you or this person gets defensive. But this blow up, this unexpected blow up, is a defensiveness. These are all the, you know, the angry mob coming out, and you know, this person's up on high trying to defend themselves because the mob has come out and they're ready to, you know, beat this person with the sticks. This person is defending themselves rather haughtily. They're losing their temper defending themselves. Somebody's trying to defend their ambition, their home, while somebody else is defensive because of this lack of investment up here. Their wastefulness. It's almost as if they're doing it because they're embarrassed. It's like a knee-jerk reaction to do that. And they don't want to acknowledge what they've lost. Do you know what you've lost? It's a line from a song. Let's see here. What else? They wanted to defend from the collapse of this belief, this thing that they're ignoring on purpose. Tell me more. Tell me more. This is during Taurus season. The big come down. The big come down. The big come down. That's my 9-inch nails. The big come down, isn't that what you wanted? But this is during Taurus season. Scorpio in the reverse, so Taurus season. That's when the shit hit the fan, the proverbial shit. Tell me more. Aquarius in the present. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. Somebody's trying to defend their legacy. Somebody's trying to defend their legacy here. And it seems like no matter what they do, there's something that's like, there's a leak. You know, I would say nectar in a sieve, but that's like the exercise is so futile that there's nothing that it holds. This is more as if like somebody is like, you know, filling a bucket that has a hole in it. So it's like no matter how much they try to fill the bucket, you know, they're filling the bucket. It feels like they're making progress, but then there's this leak over here. So the bucket is constantly emptying while they're trying to build it up with their ambition, trying to weave the web. Somebody doesn't want to, and it's almost as if this person, for all of their ambition, also doesn't want to acknowledge the wastefulness until this happens here in Taurus season, and they can no longer ignore it because they went for something and they were not allowed the offer. The truth came out, and then it all came crashing down, and they had no choice. They had to defend their legacy. They had no choice anymore. Tell me more. This is that which survives you. You know, this is what, you know, succeeds your name. What succeeds your, you know, mortal existence. So the defense of that. So it's all coming tumbling down, and now there's a new foundation that's happening. But the legacy needs to be preserved. Somebody in particular is the legacy. You see this? There's one individual with the ghosts all around them. They're trying to contact the people to try to make sure the legacy remains intact when everything else has been crashing down all around them. Tell me more. In the present for you, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What else do we got? Okay. King of Swords. Third, you are. We're trying to contact the spirits about you. Trying to approach things from an intellectual perspective as well. Trying to obtain spiritual guidance about the legacy. How to, you know, maintain and defend the legacy, your legacy in the present. If this isn't you, this is about legality. This is often the King of Swords is an Aquarian individual, but, you know, the King of Swords also signifies an intellectual, highly intellectual individual, but also, aside from being highly intellectual, the King of Swords is viewed as somebody who works in the criminal justice system. Could be lawyers, could be magistrates, could be corrections officers, parole officers, police officers, judges, lawyers, highly intellectual people who approach things from a very balanced and unbiased perspective, decision makers, lawmakers. Trying to look at things from an intellectual perspective and approach. This could be an individual here in this line that you're dealing with, or that's surrounding you at this time, who's trying to approach things from a very logical, strategic point of view, as opposed to an intuitive and emotional point of view. We're trying to maintain that, control the emotional side with the logical and strategic side at this time. But I also see this as somebody who's trying to maintain your legacy, because this is directly connected to each other. Maintaining your legacy despite this collapse and the lack of effort and the truth. The truth of you. Your truth, the true you. Trying to maintain, you know, the legacy of your essence, despite this stuff up in here. It's like, almost like saying, like, just these cards here, it's almost like this individual is saying and defending and saying, I understand all this stuff, but all this stuff does not completely define, because the truth is this. And it's almost like, you know, because I do the imagery in the cards, it's not just the, you know, look it up in a book, or, you know, definition of stuff, but look at this. This person's petitioning to the spirits. Okay. Also in the present, I've got maintaining legacy. Sometimes I have to write down captions. You know, because if I don't, then I'll finish the reading. And I won't really know what I just read. It's just a thing when you do a lot of tarot. Okay. That's what we've got. 10 of Wands in the reverse and unburdening. Dropping of responsibilities. Okay. Somebody's dropped the ball, dropped the responsibilities here. So are you strategically dropping your responsibilities in the present? Or somebody dropping the responsibility of maintaining your legacy for you? That the truth, your essence and the true individual behind all of this other stuff like that, it's your responsibility. It's not their responsibility. They're defending it. This all looks like the same person. If you want to zoom in, you can see this looks like the same person. And it's not their responsibility. Anyway, future. Future for you. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. having a few holy shit moments myself here about Aquarius. And maybe that is another thing here, is that maybe the truth, the Tower moment in and of itself is a truth. Because sometimes, you know, Ace of Swords is the, you know, Tower moment in reverse. It's the unexpected epiphany that people have. Funny. I'm trying not to personalize this whole thing. But sometimes the Ace of Swords is the Tower in reverse, the epiphany that people have. Maybe this Capricorn individual, no pun intended about the epiphany thing, maybe this Capricorn individual is having an epiphany that it's not their responsibility to defend a legacy of an individual who has not put in the investment and been wasteful, and chooses not to look and turn a blind eye, but rather respond with anger and defensive and their own defensiveness through anger, rather than having the courage to confront these items up here, you know. Still trying to find a way. There's some tediousness here, which of course, you know, Queen of Pentacles is known for, but it's not their responsibility to be doing this. Very somber look on her face. Of course there is, because look at all of this. Look at this energy. You know, but it's not their responsibility. It's this guy's responsibility to take care of his legacy, not hers. You know, he's a very astute and capable individual. He's got a damn dragon behind him. What's she got? A garden? You know? Anyway. In the future, Aquarius, we have Judgment in the reverse. There's been a decision that's already been made. Aries, Sagittarius, so we're looking at Libra, Gemini as far as seasons go for timing, because again, the reverse thing, you'll get it one day. There comes a time when somebody decides that they're no longer going to sit in this energy, or that they finally pick a direction. Trumpeter's call on this one here. The Judgment in the reverse, you know, judgment time is nigh in the upright. But now when we get into the reverse of it, it's after the fact. Nobody is sitting in indecision anymore. You know, think of it like this. If we flip this over, it's time to make a decision. Whereas the decision's been made when we've got this in the reverse. Somebody's finally deciding that they're going to, you know, look up from their piece of paper and stop ignoring shit. Could be that this person's forcing them to choose in the future here. 20, the 20th. Tell me more. Yep. Tell me more for Aquarius in the future. Aries energy for sure. Aries. We have Leo in the reverse. There you are again with this Aquarian energy. If we're looking at timings, Leo energy, Leo energy. There's that hot temper again coming out in the future. Somebody's taking the lead here on this decision making. If you have Aries in your chart, it could be you. The King of Wands, classically speaking, is considered an Aries card. This is a firm-handed leader, somebody who leads with confidence, but is absolutely a dominant decision maker who does so with absolute certainty. They're very divisive. They don't, you know, they're somebody who understands. I just heard the cheese stands alone. But there's somebody who absolutely understands and presides over their own decision making. Double leadership energy here with the Queen of Pentacles. These are, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Aries. This is Leo energy. Leo. So August, or this could be July, because July 20, is it July 20 where we hit Leo season? But this is Leo season. Fixed leadership energy, but you have leader. And then we have the sun here. This is a no. This is not getting your wish. You defended something in the present, but you're not getting your wish in the future. You're not getting what you want in the future. There's darkness here. But there's bravery attached to the decision. You were brave enough to make a decision. You stuck by it confidently. And it results in you not getting something that you want, but it was something that you knew you had to do. That's a part of the thing about being a king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But that's a part of it. I mean, sorry. That's a part of it, is the fact that, sometimes kings make decisions that they don't want to make. You can't always get what you want, but in the end you get what you need, which is friendship. There is celebration here. Celebration over legacy. Contracts, agreements, but this can also be seen as three individuals getting together to celebrate something. So there is celebration coming. I hate to say that it might actually be that somebody is celebrating that you're not getting something that you wished for or wanted, but there is darkness here. And it could be that there's, celebration over the fact that the right decision was made. You might be celebrating that the right decision was made. Sometimes having the pint of Haagen-Dazs and a glass of wine with your friends when you're bummed out about something is technically a celebration. It can be. It's a little bit of a more morbid celebration, but it's still a celebration. But the decision is made. The firm-handed leader made the decision confidently. It wasn't what you actually wanted. It's almost like a be careful what you wish for, so you didn't get your wish. And you know what? You're tired anyway. There's a tiredness here. This guy's like, I've had it up to here. I'm going to make the decision. There will be no more defending anything. This is not happening. This is the ultimate yes card in the tarot, and that's why I'm saying that. If you didn't know, people always say that. And it is a yes card. It's the warmest card in the tarot. It's happiness. But somebody isn't happy about making this decision, but they're saying no. They're saying enough. I know what's best, and I know when it's right to make a decision that's right, not a decision that everybody wants. And that's what the King of Wands often does. There's celebration over this. Three Cups is celebrating. Does somebody use their intellect instead of their emotion? That there's a preservation of legacy here. It's almost as if also this was guided, spiritually guided, that this was not meant to happen. That there needs to be darkness rather than sun. There needs to be a moment of germination. Seeds need to grow. The sun can also be scorching. Sometimes the decision needs to be made for there to be darkness instead of light, because if you had sun for 24 hours a day in a place like the south, this whole place would be Mars. Do you know? Tell me more. What else finally for Aquarius in the future? Okay. You'll see the logic in the celebration. You'll see the logic in this. Eventually, the moon. There's confusion. Again, there is darkness. It's like I said, you know, the sun upside down is the moon. Cancer season next year. And some people also view the moon as Pisces season. There's confusion and a deception that you're delivering. You know, and this could be something that's happening in the present also. Nightmares, dream state, deception, you know, confusion. You got people confounded about something. Maybe people are confused about... It's just something they're talking about during the celebration. They're confused. They felt deceived by you. Your legacy is trying to contact the spirits because they feel confused or deceived. They're trying to connect through the dream world. They could be talking about it in the future when they're at this gathering with other individuals. It's about you. Why you just let go of everything. What else? This is the world of feelings also, by the way. This is going under the surface. This is going underwater. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater. I can't see it. Okay, that one wanted, those two wanted to flip it. They're not the thing. Lastly for you, it wanted to come out anyway. There's a feeling of being left out in the cold because somebody was kept in confusion about why. Why did you drop all your responsibilities and burdens? Why did you keep people in confusion? This is a feeling rather than a reality. This is a feeling of destitute, of being impoverished, even though the church doors are open and sanctuary can be obtained. Somebody chooses a victimhood mindset rather than exercising self-empowerment. This person has at their disposal all of the devices that they need to get themselves up and out of the winter and out of the cold and take themselves in and warm themselves. However, they choose these circumstances for themselves based on their own self-pity. You see, this is kind of here. They choose to keep themselves in it's like self-deception. They keep themselves confused. They've dropped all their burdens and now they feel destitute because of the result. It's the result of their own decision making. That's the logical. But they get into this emotional space that puts them here. This is like the mentality of sitting there saying, I'm the victim of circumstance, when you're the victim of nothing. You're the victim of your choices, not the victim of circumstance. We see that up here. And that is the sort of truth, right? Unfortunately, you know. All right, let's take a look at some stuff for you here. Just the last couple of things. I know it sucks, doesn't it? But, you know, most tarot sucks. Most actual tarot sucks. Let's look at your Rebel deck Oracle message, and then we'll get you an I Am Power Pack thing, send you off on a sunnier note. Remember, this is just for a month, you know what I mean? And you do have the free will to impact your life in a more positive way. You don't necessarily have to make crappy decisions that put you in a state where, you know, you at a million different junctions throughout your day, you have the option to turn left or right, you know. I know that it sounds cliche, but, you know, it's absolutely 100% true. Okay, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We all make a million decisions every day that keep us out of the gutter. Or keep us in the gutter. You know what I mean? So. All right, advice for Aquarius. What do we have for you? What you got? And that's logic. I mean, it really is. Give me one advice card for Aquarius. I feel like they're going to tell me they need more advice. No, that's it. I'm sorry. You look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact, clean yourself up. Okay. And that one flew out. You saw it. Okay. Lastly, from the I Am Power Pack, let's give you something on a more positive note to send you on your way. I mean, that's why I picked that, because, you know, my dad's an Aquarius, and let me tell you, he pulls no punches. You know. I think I have Aquarius in my chart. I'd have to take a look, but wherever it is, it's not, I don't think it's a major placement. Okay. All right. Lastly, for Aquarius, give them something on a positive note. What can we leave them with? If anything else, I'm doing the Page of Pentacles thing right now, of course. If anything else, for Aquarius, what do we have? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, they got a lot of, this is a lot of card vomit. I can't take. This one's stuck, though. I am brave. Okay. Remind yourself of that. Don't sit in this. Strength in the reverse shit. I am brave. I am brave. So be brave. Figure it out. We'll see when we see you next, Aquarius. Thank you so much for watching. This was, I love this deck. This is a great deck. But we'll see when we see you next. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.